Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Dwarf Fortress. Our fortress has had some ups and downs since our last recording. It's been about another year, and a lot of things have happened. My main goal was to make more happy dwarves, which I kind of succeeded in because my population has grown a pretty good bit, and most of my people are leaning towards happy with some neutrals, and then we've got our unhappy folks, which are mostly after like items and stuff that I've started crafting. So I'm slowly getting there. I'm using a lot of the bones out of the bone pile to make amulets and crowns and other fun things. So probably make some shell and rock things as well. So we've got that kind of taken care of. We've also started doing a little bit of fun activities downstairs, which we'll get to. So up here, I don't really have a lot that happened other than someone went berserk and destroyed my butcher shop. That's why I've got stuff scattered about. I've rebuilt it, and hopefully somebody comes and picks this shit up at some point. But so far, no one's bothered. I think I touched on the expansion of this last time. I did put this fancy ring on display here. I felt like that was a safe place to put it to increase the value of the guild hall. That is highly underutilized, by the way. Like, nobody bothers to do anything here, which makes me sad, but whatever. Let's see, I think I got some good. Nope. Young black cap, that sounds deadly. Anywho, so I've also kind of discovered some of the things happening here. A lot of clay coming up, cool. So over here, when people are walking across and it thaws, they get swept over to here, and then we're going to go down all the way. And you can see they are now becoming a pile of bodies down here in the River of Doom. But more importantly, I'm seeing things such as this fancy crossbow with a value of 8,000 that I feel compelled to try and retrieve. Like, I've got some other goodies down here too. So when this river freezes, I'm going to try and dig down and into here and see if I can't get to these bodies and recover some of that stuff. And as you can see, we've actually got another dwarf that has perished as well. I think he fell. Oh, well, okay, something definitely occurred down here, so I have to investigate what the hell happened to this dwarf. Let's talk about what expansions we've made throughout the whole place. So we've got a lot larger graveyard now. I finally gave up on trying to put a slab down for every single person. So instead, my current strategy is when you start haunting me, you get a slab. And try to kind of head them off before they destroy us. And I've got all this stuff here. I'm planning to mine this little area out a little bit and get all these goodies out of here. And then I'm going to wall this off. Kind of close it down. Hello, cat. Thank you for interrupting the video. And down here, we have built a guild hall. I believe this is my farmers. No, this is my ranger guild hall. So I put him a couple of statues, found a nice little crown to put on a pedestal, and they loved it, accepted it, and now do not inhabit it. So I don't know if that's the thing. Let me know in the comments if like you see this as well, where you build these big fancy guild halls and they're like, oh cool, thanks, and they never go there. Maybe I need to put ale in it. I'm not sure if that's a thing. A whole lot of nothing here, nothing. A lot of extra mining happening here, so we had a lot of ore get mined out in this area. And got some borax, yum. A nice big tunnel over this way. More of those goodies. So pretty much all that's happening here is just extra mining. Getting more of that ore lined up. And we started doing a little bit of searching around this area as well. Getting into some of the nice gems and other things. I've also greatly expanded this giant area to hold rocks, so that's a pretty big deal. I'm not sure if I'd done this last time, but I set up a couple of offices and whatnot over here and set up like a mayor's house. Other big thing I started working on here, I think I started this temple last video. I've got that finished up for the God of Death. And then this is going to be a guild hall of some sort. I forget who requested a guild, but somebody wanted a guild, and I said, hey, that's a great area to put it in. I've also went and smoothed all this snow. Mostly for aesthetic purposes, and I have actually reopened the Tongue of Sacks to visitors. And I've got some weird stuff here, like, let's look at this. So, I seem to have naked elves everywhere, and I don't know if this is like a consequence of my mod or what, but they're coming in with no items, so... But more importantly, this is a 4-year-old elf child that is just running around my tavern naked. And you'll see some new bones here. Let's talk about that. So, I had an armed goblin show up in this tavern asking about the whereabouts of that ring upstairs. And, you know, so I killed him. I was like, I'm not playing this shit where you come back later with 5 of your bros and murder us. So he made his way to about right here, and I had my sure shot brigade come out of here and just open fire on him on this bridge. And he did. I've got this lever here because I almost didn't catch him. So I want a way to, if I have to, trap folks over there. The big challenge is when I tried to link the lever, I ran into some issues. So I'm going to have to look up a tutorial on how to do that stuff. We built a nice little walkway down to the tavern as well. And we added in a couple of statues here just for value. And we've got another guild hall that we built in over here. This is the Oil of Boulders, and they are a stoneworker guild hall. So I built them a nice fancy guild hall. They haven't hauled off all the stone and whatnot yet, but I built them a guild hall. They're happy, and as you can see, they are also not in this guild hall. So, sad face. Again, I'm not sure what happened to this person. And what I'm really worried about... Okay, that's not my mayor. I thought that was my mayor for a second that got murdered. Alright, so moving down, we now have cave spiders. We expanded this temple just a tiny bit. Added a couple more altars, and it gets a lot of traffic. Expanded the dormitory. I've mined out this area to expand the hospital, just in case I end up with a heavy casualty scenario again. Still got a couple of shit offices here. And you'll see we've also been attracting some monster slayers. So they are citizens. They don't show up in my other tab, but I can assign them things here. But I've probably attracted about 10 to 20 of them. So amongst my population, let's see if I can find some more of them. One of them that came in? No. Anyways, amongst my population, I have several heavily armed monster hunters now, which makes me super happy. Here's another one, I think. Yes. So, that, I hope, will help as more legendary creatures arrive. Which I've actually got one trapped downstairs, but that's another story. And we'll get to that. So moving down here, big addition here, we added 60 additional housing units here. So right here, these two together are 120. We've engraved everything, smoothed everything. Most of the rocks have been hauled off. There's still quite a lot of rocks waiting for hauling here. Slackers. And this whole area, I've basically just added a couple of hatch covers here just in case. I haven't done anything with this yet, and I am thinking sometime in the next session I'm going to start digging a couple of wells in here just to get some extra drink flowing in, or some agua. Not that dwarves like water, but we'll have some, goddammit. Yeah, And moving down, and down, and down. Don't mind that being crooked. So I've still got this place here, which I've got it blocked off with a locked hatch to prevent anything coming up here. And I kind of set this little shaft down here to go further it down. Well, as soon as I got down, I immediately struck another cavern and was like, okay, cool. So I walled this area off here. Let's see, is he still here? Are you shitting me? He's not here now. Where'd he go? That's not a good sign. So anyways, I had a legendary creature just chilling right here, staring at my wall. And I was like, oh great. Because he really wanted to get into this tavern and tear some people up. So an interesting thing occurred also when I attacked the armed goblin upstairs. I had another goblin here downstairs start a fight as well. So that resulted in, some interesting things. So this second tavern down here is also quite populated. And right here, this is a perfect moment. This is a fine looking dwarf here, and we're going to name him Bill Holt, as promised. Because I did promise somebody I'd name a dwarf after them. And there we go. You're now Will Holt the poet. I'm picking poet. Okay, well, he's a visitor. I need someone who's actually a citizen. Hang on. He might sign up soon, but let's see. Human poet is another visitor. Okay, I'm gonna have to go pick maybe this dude here. Got some recruits up here we could name after Will. So I've started another group, or militia rather. Let's see. I like this dude. Organized dodging demonstration. So he's a combat dwarf. He's in my city militia. Possibility he could perish, but he's seems to be a noteworthy dwarf, so we'll name him Will Holt. And he is a wrestler. Nice. So I have built up another nice area here. This is going to become my kind of downstairs barracks. I've put my city militia here and stationed them. And I'm trying to do custom uniforms. So you see some of my dwarves are in dresses, aka robes. My goal is to get them hoods and robes. I don't think we've got the hoods yet. That doesn't look like it. So basically they're going to have an axe, a shield, a hood, and a robe, and then some armor underneath all that when I get them fully equipped. And I thought that would look kind of cool, having like a robed squadron of militia running about. But so far, we're still a ways off. We're kind of learning to construct some of the more finer things. I've started building my first instruments as well. I'm starting to actually gather silk and whatnot. We've also set up in this area a couple of stone workers to start working some of this stone down here and put it into bins. So we're making it. This is a generic temple. This is just to I put a bunch of statues in it, put some instruments, put a couple of things, and we've got quite a few people stopping and visiting. Which I meant to look at some of these dudes and make sure they are not here to destroy me. So I've had some really bad luck. These look like some of my lovely folks that have shown up to destroy monsters, so good on that. In fact, I think they were the ones who helped engage a couple of the folks down here. This was, I think, an elf. Human blood, yeah. So yeah, these two people did open fire and attack when I attacked that person upstairs, so they must have been linked in some way. Not really sure, but they're dead now and no longer a threat. I hope. I also hope I inadvertently didn't start a war, but, that's a whole different problem. So yeah, we've got, once again, more naked people in my tavern. Yeah, I don't understand, but I'm getting a lot of naked people. So, yeah. We've also set up a nice little housing area here that is full of rocks that haven't been hauled yet. which I think I'm about to dedicate a group of haulers because I feel like everyone's like, oh, that job sucks, we're not going to do it. At least that's my current theory. Um, but yeah, so far, I've had 2 legendary beasts appear down here in the caverns. So now that I have the caverns open, I think there's like a 50% chance that's where your legendary beast is going to come from. I'm trying to see if I can find him. He was around here somewhere. Yep, he's just gone. You can see he's killed some stuff around here for sure. Yeah. But anyways, so far the legendary beasts have not actually gotten at my population, which is good. I've been kind of building population, a lot of training of my brigades, trying to arm them up, get them ready to go, get them prepared for when I open this cavern up completely and I've got people running around it. I'm also hoping that having that group of, armed monster hunters is going to help a lot. Effectively, I don't want to have what's happened to me in past fortresses happen, where I open up the cavern and a massive invasion comes in and I have to put a hatch cover on and lock a bunch of people down there to die. That has happened before, and I'm really hoping to not have to do that. The other thing is, I have a lot of people in this tavern, so my hope is, if it ever comes down to it, these folks will actually, like, defend to some degree, and we'll be in pretty good shape. I don't see a lot of weapons here. I've got a lot of naked people, but, whatever. Yeah, yeah. And tavern name. The Snack of Blockading. Yeah, I don't know where they came up with that one, but whatever. And we do have this very packed dormitory that a lot of folks are utilizing as well. So yeah, a pretty big expansion downstairs, and I still plan to take in some of this area. I might make that additional downstairs housing, which I'm a little bit hesitant to do, because if I ever have to lock this off, and I lock, 20 or 30 people down here, that's going to kind of suck, but, sometimes you got to do what you got to do in Old Dwarf Fortress, so shit happened. But anyways, folks, thanks for joining for another Dwarf Fortress update. I'm going to keep playing this same embark. I'm getting migrants still. I'm getting a lot of people joining up just as fighters. I'm probably going to stop accepting performers and fighters at this point and focus on getting more workers in to haul some of these rocks off, because I've got a, I hoped putting this up here was going to help. It doesn't seem to have, so unfortunately, we still got a lot of work to do on that front. But as we keep going, we're going to work on next time trying to make this large section of the population happier. And I think we're probably going to increase the population again. We've been steadily doing so. But anyways, I want to thank everyone again for checking out this Dwarf Fortress video. And I appreciate all the love and support I'm getting on this. It's very nice to see all the comments and whatnot. I'm always happy to name a dwarf after people, so by all means, let me know if you want a dwarf named after you. I will happily do so. In fact, you may end up with a visitor and a dwarf named after you. So, yeah. Anyways, folks, that being said, thank you so much again. Do all the YouTubey stuff. Like, subscribe, leave me some comments. Don't mind my cats fighting in the background. And yeah, thanks again and have a wonderful rest of your day.